Hi, this is 365801 and this is a 2025 Buzzword Reading Challenge TBR and recommendations video. Hi and welcome back to another TBR and recommendations video for the 2025 Buzzword Reading Challenge. This is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. The link in the description for her announcement video, and of course the visuals that you might need to take part if you're posting on social media. We're going to be doing the second month, which is February, and February is a thematic month and it is water words. Now, thematic months are always a little bit more tricky, so please do check out the announcement video. Kayla gives lots of different recommendations and gives examples of ways to interpret the theme, for example, using words like ocean, sea, river, etc. But she also has some good examples that show other ways to interpret water words, which was really useful for me to look at my own spreadsheet. So, of course, as usual, I went to my spreadsheet with my little list that I'd made from watching Kayla's video and started looking out for some examples that I would have in my BL collection. Now, the first one that comes up is actually a prose, a yaoi novel, and it is a Venio Tachibana Toko Miyagi one called Love Water. Now, I have read this already. I don't think it would be too bad to read it again. It's like Meiji era, like it says there, and it does involve brothels, and it's very sort of my kind of thing, to be honest. If this was in manga form by Toko Miyagi, I would have eaten it up as well. But in its novel form, it was okay. I think I enjoyed it, but of course it is a yaoi manga, and so they are a little bit interesting, these June DMP ones. Is it going to Love Water? So I'll bring this downstairs and add it to the list. Now, the first one that appears is pretty obvious. It is Seaside Stranger. This is Umibe no Etonge by Ki Kana. This is, of course, has a animated version, which I have watched. And I think I've read this first volume, but I'm not entirely sure if I have. I also have a second copy of this first volume and multiple other volumes up the stairs with all my other ones that I haven't organised yet. This is a 6-volume series following a guy who lives on an island and ends up, he's an aspiring writer, and he ends up spotting a lonely and sad-looking high schooler, and he kind of gets a bit of a crush on him, and they don't see eye to eye for a bit, but then they kind of get to know each other a wee bit more. And that's kind of it, as far as I know, because I haven't read the rest of the series. I have volumes 1 through 5, but I do not have volume 6. So I need to get volume 6 to be up to date. I don't know how many volumes there are altogether. That's something I need to check out. But yes, Ki Kana. This has been very popular. It was a really, really popular one for a while. It's got other names besides Seaside Stranger. Stranger on the Shore, I think, is the other name for it, which would also make this water related. So I think this is a good choice. But yeah, so this will have to go on my TBR, and I'll have to read the volumes that I have, which is volumes 1 through to 5. Now, I have another one that has C in the title. If I can find it up here. There it is. Hold on once again. Give me a second. So this is another one called Sea View by Ayumi Kano. And this is a June manga one. As you can see, it's an older one. So I did bring this from my other collection, December 2008. And I don't think I've read this. A lot of the ones that I brought from my other collection I hadn't really read because I collected them before I moved and then they were just put up the stairs or up in the loft. And so yeah, this is one I definitely haven't read. Sea View. I don't know what it's about, so this would be one to put on my TBR for sure. I think I recognize the artwork though, so I think Ayumi Kano has also had other things published. I'm pretty sure. Like, is it Passionate Theory? I think there's another one that's called that. So yeah, this is one that could definitely go on my TBR. Now, after looking for a few things, I looked up Rain, and Midnight Rain is an obvious choice. This is by CTK, and this is obviously a Sublime title. It's a one-shot, so it's really easy to read. This is about two older gentlemen. They're very much grown-ups, and they have very male and grown-up physiques, and it's kind of about two people in not the best circumstances of their lives, kind of coming together and being each other's support and finding love and comfort in each other, whether that be both emotionally and physically. So yeah, this is a very adult one due to the topics as well as the content as well. So Midnight Rain is one I've already read, so I don't really need to put it on my TBR, but I do recommend it. It's a very beautiful and adult little volume. Now, one I'm not sure I do recommend is Intense Rain. Now, I love Fua Shinri. I think her artwork is great fun, and I think her stories are always really interesting and fun. But this is a story that I'm not entirely sure. I root for the two to get together. I root for one of the characters, but I don't root for his love interest. His love interest is a bit of a douche. And you don't necessarily want them to get together, and I don't think I forgive him. So it's one of those where I'm like, yeah, okay, you're kind of happy, but you had to go through a lot of shit to get to be with this guy who's a bit of an arse. So yeah, I just remember not really loving the story and not really loving the outcome, because I know that we're supposed to root for happily ever afters when it comes to romance, but sometimes a happily ever after is someone walking away from someone who's kind of toxic and hasn't been there for them when they needed it or wanted it. So yeah, I just remember being disappointed. I can't remember exactly why. So I guess I'm gonna have to read it again just to find out. But yeah, Intense Rain has rain in the title, but I do remember thinking this is not one that I would recommend because it's a happily ever after that I don't really root for. So yeah, this is not my absolute fave. Now I have another June manga one, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get out of the drawer. It's so stuck in there. There we go. This is still in its plastic. That's long I've had it and not read it. Endless Rain by Yuya. Of course, this is another June manga title, and of course it has rain as part of the title. I have never read this. I have never removed the plastic. It's quite slim. Yeah, it kind of feels a bit odd to have something so slim and it's probably quite old still in its plastic. So yeah, I don't know anything about this other than what it says on the back, and I have never read it. I keep meaning to, but I never get around to it. So once again, will I put it on my TBR and not read it in the year of 2025? Here's hoping I will get around to reading it at some point. So yeah, if you've read this, I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Feels to me like one of those that I'm going to be like forgetting about 5 minutes after I finished it, unfortunately, and I think that's why I've never actually got round to reading it. So yeah, this is another one to add to my TBR. Now, I think the last one that I have that has rain in the title, if I can find it, is this one here. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the newer version yet. It's still on my to buy, my shopping list, This is the older version of it, Canis, Dear Mr. Rain by Zach, and this is a Kuma title. Now I have read this one, and this is about a man who runs a hat shop. He creates hats and they have some sort of fair or like sort of shopping fair going on that he finds this gentleman who kind of seems like a waif and stray, and he helps out in the shop and they get to know each other a bit more, and there's other people who are helping in the shop. And it's kind of like a found family, but this guy is kind of mysterious and there's obviously something going on. And it's the start of the series because we've got Dear Hatter, volumes 1 and 2, which I do have upstairs. And then there's another couple of volumes, I think, that are in Japanese that I don't think I've got brought over yet, which I'm assuming Kuma would want to get if they could to continue the story. So yeah, I don't know what happens after this volume because I haven't read the other two that I just bought last year. I kind of wanted to get the new version. This is Kuma, so it's beautiful, stunning, very well made, incredible. Love Kuma. But yeah, this was an interesting one. It made me think, oh, there could be more to the story, and then I was happy I found out that there was. But now that I know that there's even more afterwards, I want to get the other version once it got a license save. Now I did start looking for other things that might come up because it is a thematic one, so you have to kind of go through a bit of a process of elimination in terms of looking for things and searching for things on the spreadsheet. But of course, Kayla gave us some really great examples of things that might show up. And I did think in the end that this particular one would probably count. This is Merman in My Tub. Now, it's not 100% BL. This is an 8-volume series. I have every volume except for volume 6, so I can at least read some of it. And I did mean to last year. It's about, this was an anime as well, so I watched quite a lot of the anime. It's about a man who has a merman in his tub, and then every week or so, every chapter, there's a new monster of the week type thing, which is exactly what Seven Seas used to do quite a lot of. Also, I think Yen Press as well, but I think there are quite a monster of the week type stories that you get. And this is just one of them that's not BL, but kind of feels like it should be because it's mainly an all-male cast and they're supposed to be hotties even if they're monsters. So yeah, this is something that I definitely could add to my TBR to read, even though I know the story, Itokichi's, from the anime that was out quite a long time ago. Mainly because I want to know, should I even bother to get volume 6 or should I just sell the volumes that I picked up? I got them all for pretty cheap. I think volume 1 and 8 were the more expensive ones. So yeah, I will add this to my TBR. But because we're fine with Mermans and In My Tub, I think that's water related. If we're looking for Mer, then I have one more that I found on my spreadsheet. So once again, we're back in this one. I wish I hadn't put those books back in. This is a 2-volume series, if I can get it out. This is called Selfish Mr. Mermaid. So I do have the second volume. I think it's in this drawer here. This is by Nabako Kamo. Not my favorite in terms of art style. And I've had this for years. So many of these Junei manga, old Junei manga, large trim size print ones, I've had for years now and never actually read. I have no idea what they're about. So I feel like I should at least give this a go. It's a 2-volume series, so it wouldn't be too much of an undertaking. I feel like I should give it its due. I didn't find that. Let's see, how old is it? From 2008, March. Wow. So yeah, it's quite an old one now already. So I definitely feel like this has paid its dues by sitting in my drawer. It deserves to be read. So I'm going to add it to the TBR. Now, the last one I have to show, I'm not entirely sure about. And I don't think I'll be able to read it because I don't think I brought the second volume. I don't think it's in this pile. I think it was somewhere else and I didn't think to bring it, unfortunately. And that is one that I'm a little bit, it makes me feel uncomfortable to add it into this TBR, but it is a water-like word, so I guess that could count. And that is "You Will Drown in Love." As you can see, it's got a companion one. So there was "You Will Fall in Love," and then there was "You Will Drown in Love," volumes 1 and volume 2. So I have both of the volumes 1 and 2, but I don't have the second one with me. I didn't actually bring it, so I won't be adding this one to my TBR. It is, of course, Hinako Takanaga, who has a very distinctive art style. These were all ones to do with people in kimono. So of course I ate this up when it was still coming out back in the day. But yeah, this is kind of one that's a little bit interesting. "You Will Fall in Love," but "You Will Drown in Love" had the 2 volumes. So this is the one that could be. I would have to read "You Will Fall in Love" first before I read "You Will Drown in Love," but I feel bad about not having the second volume, so maybe the next time, which I don't think I'll be able to get until I go down to see my family, and the next time I go up into my loft. But yeah, this is the last one I think I could find that had a water themed word. So that is everything that I could find in my BL collection at the moment. Now I'm pretty sure there'll be some other ones that I haven't actually picked up. I think there's another one that's, is it a Yen Press or Kodansha one? Something about rain. Definitely I haven't. I think it's a 3-volume series that I haven't picked up. I can't remember the name of it though. So yeah, if you can think of any more water themed BL, even if it's manhwa or webcomics or anything like that, please put them down in the description so I can pick up some more that might be worth reading for the month of February and water themed words. So yeah, we've got Love Water, which is a Yeri novel by Venio Tachibana Toko Miyagi, Merman in My Tub by Itokichi, Midnight Rain by CTK, Intense Rain by Shinhua, Seaside Stranger by Ki Kana, Kana's Dear Mr. Rain by Zach, You Will Drown in Love by Hinako Takanaga, Selfish Mr. Mermaid by Nabako Kamo, Sea View by Ayumi Kano, and Endless Rain by Yuya. So these are all the ones that, the majority of them I have not actually read, which is terrible. So yeah, this is definitely a TBR for me. Please let me know if you plan on reading any of these, if you're taking part in the Buzzword reading challenge. And if you've read any of them already, what do you think of them? Are they worth your time? Are they worth my time is more the question. So yeah, if there's any other recommendations, please let me know down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can take some recommendations away for this video. Take care, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!